I think what today's figures show is that where we have direct levers, we are seeing continued success in bringing net migration down from outside of the EU, down another 12%. And when we look at the figures, 82,000 fewer people from outside of the EU are coming to this country than when this government came into power. What we have seen is a significant increase in people coming to the UK from the EU itself. That's why the government remains focused on dealing with abuses of free movement and also following through on the work that we have done on benefits and those pull factors that might attract people to come to the UK in the first place. Everyone wants to see migration coming down. It is why we have focused on the net migration target, because of the pressures on public services, on our infrastructure, and also social cohesion. What we have seen is net migration from outside of the EU, where the government's policies are bearing down, are having effect. That continues to reduce. But we have seen this increase in EU migration. So people coming from France, Germany, Italy, Spain to this country. And it is why we remain focused on dealing with abuses of free movement, in terms of people trying to come here not exercising the rights under the EU treaties. And also those pull factors, the welfare benefits, and why we have introduced new measures so that you don't qualify unless you've been here for 3 months, and that then your benefits are only for a 6-month period thereafter. The government is absolutely focused on reducing net migration, and that's what the public want. That is why we have put in place policies that have seen migration from outside of the EU come down significantly, down to levels on net migration that we haven't seen since 1998. Our focus is very much on the EU migration, on abuse of free movement, and also raising issues with the Commission more generally on reform, and this is something that is shared by other EU member states as well, on ensuring that free movement works effectively, and that where there are disparities across the EU, where countries may have people who are having less economic output per head as contrasted to other EU members, well, seeing flows of people across the EU isn't in the interest of those states, it isn't in the interest of receiving states either, which is why we do argue very clearly for reform of free movement.